Thomas and Friends, Four Little Engines, A Big Golden Book. Thomas has just returned to really useful engines after winning his fourth straight Gate station. Thomas is looking forward to some rest and revolution, but when Duncan calls into the TV show to defend Thomas against the boastful green engine smudger, Thomas ends up entering the World Grand Prix. With Thomas's pit crew on vacation, Duncan's brother, Smudger, Sir Topham Hatt, and Mr. Percival join Team Thomas. The first stop at the World Grand Prix is Tokyo, Japan Station. After some sightseeing, the narrow gauge engines and their crew attend the party hosted by Sir Topham Hatt and Mr. Percival arrives. A nearly converted fat controller, pin controller, who was created in the World Grand Prix. To introduce his eco-friendly fuel. Arnold, British and secret agents, Layla, and Smudger are also at the party. There to meet an American agent with information about the various Peter Sam and his latest evil plan. Thomas calls Duncan not to do anything embarrassing at the party, but Duncan appears to leak oil in the front to his Sir Topham Hatt and Mr. Percival. Oops! He engines at the docks.
Coming through! Excuse me.
In the docks, Thomas stumbles across the American agent and 10 engines who work for Peter Sam. The old engines, called 12 engines, have trapped the agent. Thomas doesn't know any of his. He talks with engines long enough for the American agent to stick an electronic device onto Thomas's undercarriage. After leaving at the docks, Thomas pulls Layla pulls Thomas back onto the track, American agent. Thomas is happy to pull Annie and Clarabelle from the pits. Using Thomas as coaches, Thomas takes the lead. During the jugs, the narrow gauge engines, Annie and Clarabelle use Thomas's passengers to driver and fireman. Then Thomas is denoted Clarabelle. Is that a tank engine? Clarabelle said. The one the American agent passed the device to. Get out of Steamworks now. Thomas warns Duncan through the Steamworks. Thomas thinks Victor and Duncan wants to on the date. So he and Kevin leaves the safety valve.
Coming through. Excuse me.
Diesel directs Diesel works
Coming through. Excuse me.
to an alley to the where Dan battles Dart, who is the chasing Paxton. Wow, you live karaoke and transformation, said Diesel. Given a right, and now into left, right, left. Diesel signs off. It's not safe, he said. Rheneas returns into the track and discovers that Thomas is disguising trucks was giving the little engine tips the whole time. Thomas is lost in the race, little engine because of you, says Thomas. Thomas feels terrible to make sure he doesn't coast Layla to another little engine. Thomas decides to fly home to the really useful engines. Disguising trucks. Followed Thomas to the Knapford station. Luckily, Thomas is there too. Thomas is pulled troublesome trucks and escape into the runway. Drive forward! Whatever that don't stop! Orders Thomas. Thomas uses Dan, Dart, and Paxton and another gadgets to stop the disguising trucks. When Thomas and pulled troublesome trucks hop on board, Norman is coming another way. Diesel is aboard Norman. He scans Thomas and locates a device hidden in his undercarriage. Thomas finally realizes Thomas and pull troublesome trucks and the disguising trucks. Thomas crashes into the Norman, figured out, and then derailed and headed Porto Corsa, Italy. The site of the next the World Grand Prix Little Engine. Peter Sam. And the heads into the four Rusty families at the Porto Corsa at the secret meeting. Thomas attends the meeting in the disguise and learns Thomas and Duncan safety valve are being led in the mystery engine. Together, they plan to make Ono look bad during the little engine. More narrow gauge engines are whistled by the engine out of everyone. The blames Ono for the breakdowns. After the winning, the little engine, Thomas defends Ono and my friend Renee's and says and Rusty and feels safe. Says Thomas. That's good enough to me. Upon hearing this, Duncan's tender blows hours to blow up Duncan.
Go get your pants on, Dee. Go get diaper.
Thomas
Go get diaper.
chases into the warrant Duncan, but the narrow gauge engines captured Thomas, Duncan, and Smudger and take London's famous clock. Thomas frees himself and hurries the London World Grand Prix tracks to save Peter Sam. Duncan and Peter Sam discovered the narrow gauge engines. Thomas escaped, and because Thomas is carrying the bump when Duncan is too hot and this narrow gauge engines break it out and then the Bentley and the radio Thomas about the bump then he had and then the track and the stop and Duncan's hot. Thomas tries to get as far away from Thomas as fast as possible. But this time Layla
Sandy makes it worse.
doesn't let
Buster.
Thomas get away.
Woo!
Not even then Thomas deploys and the track is blocked. Meanwhile, Layla captures Layla.
This one?